Okay, so we're going to look at polynomials, and just kind of the first day of this is about terminology. But here's a polynomial, and we most likely will see them written this way. This is standard form. This is factored form up here. So when you look at standard form, you don't learn a lot from all this stuff. You probably want to go to factored form eventually, but the thing you do look at and learn a lot from is this first term. If you have the dominating term, its lead coefficient is positive, we notice, and the power is an odd power, 3 being odd. Knowing that it's an odd power tells me a lot about something called end behavior. And end behavior is the idea of I may not know on my graph what happens here in the middle, but if I go far enough to the right or far enough to the left, I will know what takes over based off that lead term. When that is an odd exponent and a positive, the direction it heads as you go right is up. So we would see, we know that on the end over here it's going to go that way. On the going left, it's going to go down. So when the exponent is odd, the end behavior is opposite directions. Up to the right and down to the left if this is positive, and it's down to the right and up to the left if this lead coefficient is negative. Another thing we can tell from that lead term is something in the middle are the potential number of zeros. When this exponent is 3, this graph has the potential to hit the x-axis in 3 places. So it could be less than that, but one thing for sure is we know it's going to hit once because the end behavior on one end goes down, on the other end goes up, so at some point that's going to have to go through the x-axis, some point. But it'll be either 3 times or actually just once. So we learn a lot from that lead term, the end behavior of it, the potential number of zeros, and the potential number of turns. The number of turns, or the number of turning points, is always one less, or potential, at most I should say, at most one less than this exponent right here. So if you see that as a cubed, you know it has at most 2 turns. Okay? So knowing a lot about this, just the first term tells you an awful lot about those functions. So let me write one more here, just write one out. We'll make it up. Y equals 3x to the 4th minus 4x to the 3rd plus 2x to the 2nd minus 1x plus 6. Really creative, huh? 3, 4, 2, 1, 6. All right. Now, what do we know? Well, a lot of this doesn't matter to us at this moment, but this lead term does. I notice that it's an even exponent. Both ends will go in the same direction. Since it's a positive number, both go in the upward direction. That's the end behavior. I know that there are at most 4 zeros. That is, there are at most 4 places that it hits the x-axis. It might only be 2. It might be not at all. You know, and those are things to look into. But I know it won't hit 5 times. Okay? I know it has at most 3 turning points. Okay? Because the turning points is 1 less than the degree of the polynomial. All right? So that's just a little bit brief about terminology.